Welcome to another episode on our channel. Today we're opening up the third 3 fine art statues I have from Kotobukiya. The first one we opened up a couple days ago. That was Iron Man. And yesterday we opened up Thor. Today we're going to be opening up Captain America. Thor and Captain America came with the original shipping box, which is kind of neat. But ironically, Thor is with the art box inside of the shipping box. It's a little bit more damaged than Iron Man. That did not come in its original art box. That's okay. As long as it's not a big honking dent, I'm good to go. I'm more interested in the statue itself. And so far, only one piece on Iron Man was broken. Nothing was broken on Thor. And the one thing that was broken on Iron Man looks like it can be put together very nicely. So I'm hoping that despite the dings and dents I see here on this mailing box, that the art box is okay, but it won't kill me if it has some dings and crinkles here and there. Again, the most important thing is the statue. I won't bore you with opening up the mailing box, which I usually do from the bottom. So we'll pause now and I'll open it up, get the fine art box out so that you can see it. We are back, and just as I projected, the box did not come through unscathed. So there are some slight dings, crinkles, that sort of thing. Probably the one most irritating to me is the one in the front. Hopefully I won't drop this. And I'm getting closer. Over here. There's a crinkle right there. I really, it doesn't really bend me out of shape if there are crinkles, slight dings. What will kill me is if there's a big ding or rip in a box, that sort of thing. So I've seen boxes worse than this one. So I'm pretty happy. I just wish the one crinkle would be on the back instead of the front, that's all. But there are other dings and crinkles especially on the back. But I do like the picture of Captain America. Red, white, and blue. The colors are vibrant. And the side picture is very nice as well. And the back of the box, you can see there's a major ding right there. But the back of the box is very nice too. And you can see he is throwing his shield. So a lot of it's fluidity and motion again. There's just that vibrancy in terms of action. Here's the other side. Nice again. And then back to the front. So I won't bore you with opening up the box. You can't really open it up from the bottom. You have to open it up from the top. And it's not taped in, so obviously it's been displayed. So I expect there's a sturdy foam container on the inside, and we'll get that out. We'll pause down, get that out, and then open that up to see what we have. Welcome back. We do have the foam container out on the table. What was interesting is that this was inside a plastic liner. That's very unusual. The foam doesn't need any more protection. The liner should have went over the box, but it was over the foam container. That's kind of strange. If anything, the fine art box needs more protection from any external force that might create more dents. We do have some instructions. Hopefully they will be helpful. With Thor, even with the instructions, we still had to go to the internet to figure out how to put those pieces in, and some of it was still very intuitive. But probably what's troubling me the most, I'm a little anxious now, is that this fell out of the box, and it looks like it's a piece of Thor's, not Thor's, but Captain America's wings on his helmet. So I'm a little anxious about that. I hope I don't have a really broken up helmet. But we'll cross that bridge if we have to cross that bridge. It's not taped all the way around, just in certain 4 places. So let's cut this baby open and let's see what we have on the inside. Okay. Sorry about the noise. That was pretty bad. And this one has an indent, so I have to kind of cut around, up, over, down, around. There we go. This one's straight across. There we go. All right. Still anxious about that feather thing. And I've learned to, that first thing I opened, Iron Man, had some things in the top part which shocked me half to death. I almost, I was afraid that things were going to fall out. So I'm glad none of the other 2 statues had things on the top. That's weird that things would be on the top. All right, so here's the stand. Well, it came out easy. And it looks like the stands we've had. From the other 2 statues. I'm trying to get the foam off. All right. There we go. It looks like this is where the foot would go for Captain America. It's got the same metal pieces and hues of purple in it. So, yeah. I'm still worried about that, those wings. All right, let's see. Let's just do this in stages. What's done is done, right? Wow. That's a big piece to the stand. That's definitely a big piece. So it has some rock formations and some metal pieces and more rock formations attached to it. It's all one piece. Okay. That's just foam. That's not, doesn't look original to the package. There's another rock piece. This looks intact. Just some foam attached to it. Okay. Here's another rock piece. Huh. Well, this has a recessed cavernous piece recessed in. I was expecting something that would be jutting out like this. Just jutting out. So that's different, but it doesn't look like it's broken. Oh, here's a piece. I bet it goes there. We'll figure that out though. Let me get all the rock pieces out. So far we have 3. Here's another rock piece. It looks intact as well. So far 4 pieces. Man, there's I think a lot of rock pieces. There's another one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. With metal. Hues of purple here. That's 5. Okay, I think that's it for the rock pieces. Now we're going to bring out Captain America himself. at least parts of him. So his body looks intact. It looks like both arms are going to be attachable, along with the head. All right. He's got one peg. So Kotobukiya is really good at distribution of weight. To get a solid piece like this balanced on a stand like this, they're good at what they do. It's obvious. Here's one arm, and it has a jutting out piece that obviously connects to the recessed cavity on the body. And this arm is the same way. All the fingers appear to be intact. Thank God. Okay. I'm waiting to do the head last, because if I have bad news, it's going to be there. There's a shield that looks perfectly in order, with places for an arm to go. And let's see about this head. Oh my gosh. Okay. Both are missing. Well, that's not good. So, it doesn't look like it's held in by a magnet or anything like that. That is definitely not good. So let me take a time out and really look through the box and see if I can find, that's like the worst case scenario. So we have one tiny piece representing a piece of wings. Let's pause. Let me look through the box. Let me see what I can find. We are back, and I really tried to contain my anxiety with that first clip because I saw that my husband found this little piece on the floor, which represents, I guess, against my shirt, it's going to be the best view here, one of the wings of Captain America. But I thought it was a fraction of the wing, and we'd find a whole ton of pieces in there that would make up this particular wing. And we didn't. And I almost missed this other piece because it was actually lying in the edge of the styrofoam. It wasn't in a crevice or anything like that. It was on the edge of the styrofoam. And I went like, okay, these are about the same size. Maybe this is it. Unfortunately, this apparently is it. It took me a while to figure it out, but I finally found the angle where they both fit to the head that has missing pieces. So it looks like all pieces are accounted for. Thank God. I thought this was just a fraction of the wing on the helmet, but this is it, and this one is it too. So I'm still rattled a little bit, but I'm calming down considerably. Oh my gosh, that really freaked me out. Okay, so we'll pause. I get the stand out. We'll put the stand to get Captain America out of the way. Get the stand together, and then we'll put Captain America onto the stand without the wings attached. I'm just thankful. It's a miracle, really, that we found both wings. So let's pause now. We are back, and I'm still thinking about how I escaped tragedy with the help of my husband finding the first wing. And then finding the second wing in the corner of the box is so lucky, actually. Yeah. All right, so there are 5 pieces that go into the stand, and I will show you how they go in case you decide to get this baby. The first one is right near the foot where you need to put Captain America's one pegged foot, okay? And the opening is towards the back. So there's a little recessed cavity there. And you have this thing that has a peg right here. And then there's like 1 rock, 2 rocks, 3 rocks, and the 4th rock is here. And think of this as like a face that's pointed down. What you want when you put this in is for the face to be pointing down. So just find a way to get this piece in here so that the face isn't perfectly facing down, but for the most part, it's facing down. All right, that's piece number 1. The second piece is just 1 rock, and it has the cavernous opening here. It doesn't have the peg. The peg is on the stand, actually. This, fortunately, goes only on one way. But if this is the cavernous piece here on this side, where my finger is right here, on the other side, right here, it should be facing you. So as long as it's facing you, you should know it's going on the right way. Boom, there it is. Here's this piece, and it is facing me. It's kind of loose. A lot of these pieces are loose. That's probably because they've been put in, taken out, put in, so forth. But according to the photographs, this is how it goes in, and really there's only one way to put it in. If you try to put it in the opposite way, remembering that the cavern is rectangular shaped and the peg is rectangular shaped, it won't be able to fit. It'll run into something and it won't be able to fit. So it only goes in one way. This thing can kind of go in different ways. But according to the photographs, these things, like right here, I like to call them elongated fingers because they kind of remind me of fingers. They should be pointing up. So if you can just find a way to get it to snuggle in and try to push in fairly well, because it is loose unless you do, have them pointing up. You'll be good. This is the biggest piece of all 3 statues. And the big thing to remember, the cavernous piece is here and the peg is here. Okay, so this is very different from the other stands. But if you will just remember that there's a piece here that kind of is half rounded, curving up and down. Make sure that piece is facing you when you put this piece on, and it should go on, hopefully, if I can find the right angle, very easily. There it goes. And this is where the shield will go. We'll get there in a second. But the last piece is this piece. And this kind of reminds me of like a little dog for some reason. It's like, here's the body, here's the face of the dog. But on the side is like a little nose, or maybe a paw. I don't know. Only has 1 paw. That should face you when the foot of Captain America should go here. And it has a peg, and it goes into a recessed cavern here. And if the nose is facing you, it will fit in very nicely. So there you go. All right. We'll take a break, and we will work on getting Captain America in. We are back. And I know I didn't show you how to put the statues in for not Captain America, Iron Man and Thor, but those should be no-brainers, but you do have to get the angle right. So here's the cavernous piece, that the one peg that Captain America has goes in. And it's kind of like you kind of have to play with it and find the right angle. There we go. But once you do, it should go in there very easily. All right, so I'll kind of turn them a little bit so you can see them a bit better. Look at that pose. It's so cool. Okay, so he has attachable arms. And so we have the right arm, which goes in like that. We have the left arm. There are magnets, plural, in both of these arms. That is so cool. I just wish they did it with the hand of Thor. That would have been nice. There is a magnet here. It's not visible, but there is a magnet because this head only goes in actually one way. There it goes. So we can kind of turn him a little bit, and you can see he is missing his wings, but fortunately we found the wings. What I think is really cool about this statue is the shield. All right, the shield has a magnet on it, and it only goes on one way to this piece here. And it looks like he's throwing it. Yeah. Especially if you look at it from this angle. He's throwing it. He's thrown it. His hand is already coming up, but it is going into a straight line at something. It is so cool. So we will have to fix the wings on his helmet if we decide to keep the statue, which I really want to. I just need to talk to the person who sold it to me. Anyway, he looks absolutely magnificent. We'll get him on we'll pause now, get him on a turn tray so you can see him from various angles, and you'll see how wonderful he absolutely looks. We're going to do a full circle here and see him from different angles, but I love the neutrality of the stand. It just makes the figure itself pop so brilliantly with the bright blue and red and white. He's also popping because he's flinged the shield out, and it's in it. The statue seemingly has captured that motion of the shield soaring away from him, his hand continuing upwards. It's just a wonderful captured moment. Outfit is I mean, the colors are just wonderful. They're absolutely awesome. I'm trying not to have this piece hit me or the shield. Probably knock me out. Not really. But this is so cool. I think he's probably my favorite, followed by Iron Man and then Thor. But it's hard to say. They all compete in different ways. I have to say this is probably the most dynamic pose of the three, though. Especially with that shield in motion. All right. So we did a full circle. You've seen them from different angles. We'll get some close-ups now. And I'll do some profile shots, and then we'll get a close-up of his face. So here's a better close-up. You might think that this over here is a ding, but it's actually the lighting. There is a slight ding a little before that, but this is definitely not a ding. It's just the lighting. So let's look at him from slightly different angles. We won't do a whole go around, but you can see every muscle is going into throwing that shield. I think they captured that well. And then we go around here. You can start to see his face come into view. He's got that grit the teeth look that Thor had as well. And that shield is definitely heading someplace. All right. I think if I pose him, though, I think I like this shot the most. This is me, though. Maybe a little more this way. All right. We'll pause now and get a tight close-up of his face. Here is a wonderful tight close-up of his face. Again, lots of emotion pouring through, mostly in terms of this is my fight. You're on my ground. And you're not going to get through this process if I have my way about it. Here's one final look at Captain America, the third fine arts statue in the series of statues we've been looking at, Iron Man, Thor, Captain America. I hope you've liked what you've seen. If you have, consider giving us a thumbs up and subscribing to our channel. In the meantime, everyone, please have a great day.